Hello and welcome to the Foundry Roundtable, the show that searches and searches for things to do when the Foundry is down, like it is right now. So we're going to have some fun tonight with random task force operations, or Qs as I still call them. And
Qs is still appropriate.
So we've got four of us here on the stream. We've got me and Duncan and Greendragoon and Markhawkman. And then we have our fifth person in our group is Spiritborn, a.k.a. Lovely Wow. So we're going to get true random. It's not going to fill in anybody else's queue. Now, question, are we going to need to reform the group each time we're done?
Maybe.
Possibly.
I'm thinking about relogging after each one anyways, so...
Anyway.
We shall see.
We shall see. So yeah, as previously stated, the Foundry is still down. So have to postpone anything you're planning on doing, including the end of the Foundry contest. As I say every time, there will be 4 days after whenever the Foundry is back online for people to finish up playing and voting. I encourage all authors who are in the challenge to be checking whenever the Foundry missions start coming back. Check your mission, make sure it's okay. If you need to fix anything that broke, that is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And Duncan, you had an interesting theory about why the Foundry might not be back yet.
Oh yeah, because me and I think Primar chimed in on this a little bit too. There is an extant bug that is causing large amounts of options that should be available by default not to appear if you don't already have them selected on a character. So that's the weird part about it. If you've actually got one of these missing options on an alien character or any character, because anything that's included by default, even some costume items, like I've been missing Sierra 3 for a while, since Age of Discovery. But anyway, any of those default customization options may not appear. Although if you already have a character or a saved file of a character with those options, you can load that up and it unlocks, and you can use those options basically until you relog, and then you got to do it over again. But anyway, though, as far as this goes, it might affect the Foundry because it might seriously impact the number of options we have available in the Foundry, depending on how this system works. So our recommendation, I think, with going forward, is probably going to be, if this is the issue, it might take a little bit to get fixed because it does sound like something a little bit deeper into the code. We'll see. But as far as this one goes, we might ask, if it's going to be a wait, we might ask Cryptic to load up the Tribble Foundry to see how that's affected. And if that's good to go, then everything might be happening sooner rather than later. But if there's another issue or there is a problem with the Foundry in this respect, then it might be a little bit of a wait to get this main game bug fixed, because that might be bleeding over to the Foundry. So chances are high it's going to be fixed, because it does seriously affect like a lot of different options.
Some specifics I've noted is that recently people were having an issue with only parts of the baseball uniforms being available. Like, you create a uniform, it's supposed to automatically give you a hat and stuff, but for some people it wasn't doing that. Another example is, remember how I posted a set of sliders for my recreation of the ERES NPC? My best guess is that the actual ERES NPC uses the Denobulin 2 ears. I think that was the right one.
Yeah,
but I couldn't find those when I was recreating it. I had 1 and I had 3, but not 2.
Yeah, and you should have 1 through 5. So that's the easiest. Like, that's where we first identified it. Was like, holy crap, we're missing most of the alien parts. But then I noticed that everything's affected, like skirt leggings. I even had a hull type missing. That should be available by default. And I had it previously. It's like, wait, where did upgrade go?
Another bug I noted recently was that one I mentioned with Riemann female characters, where anything that shows their legs either shows Romulan legs or no legs at all.
So, yeah, but as far as the Foundry goes with this specific bug, we're default options are listing, and that's the one caveat. It's always default. Nothing that I've unlocked has been affected. So it's whatever system is regulating that part. So maybe it's just that a whole bunch of default permissions got removed and Cryptic needs to add those back, but we'll see how that goes. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit technical. They might spend a little time fixing it, but again, we'll see how this goes, and we'll see about getting the Foundry back sooner rather than later if we can convince Kale to turn on the Tribble Foundry, or get whatever steps are needed to turn that on. So we can just investigate to see how we might be affected.
We are no strangers to long downtimes, unfortunately.
Yeah, but
I have to wonder if maybe the devs took a look at it and they're like,
possibly. I mean, I was getting a little Kale was asking me for a lot of information. I put a bug thread on the forums. People chimed in on that one. So it is a high profile bug. Cryptic is looking into it. Just no updates on in the last week or so about how that's going
until it gets fixed.
I mean,
but
just speaking from personal experience about troubleshooting things, my experience has always been I have no idea how long it's going to take to fix until I figure out why it broke. So until I've had a chance to.
Oh, I just wanted to say that's a great Batman in the middle of us.
I've seen him before.
Captain Michaels. Yeah, just random players now, but yeah, we got Batman.
Well done. Very well done.
Batman.
Tempted to. Okay, okay, so that's ears.
Batman does not dance.
Using alien words.
Very, very good. Okay, so why don't we get started?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm trying to remember something. There used to be like a join as a team button. Is that necessary anymore?
The way I understand it, the way it currently works, you need to have the team leader choose what to run, and then everyone automatically gets dumped into it.
Yeah. Okay. So team leader, whoever that is, go ahead.
Which is me.
Q random.
Join random.
Yeah.
Yay!
We all got the accept button.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And
the question is, what's it going to put us in?
We will be playing through as many as we can in our usual time show. But whatever comes up, we will have to play.
Even if
we suck at
it's something crazy that we haven't played in years.
I'm sure there's a couple I haven't played at all.
Everyone hit their button?
Actually, one of them that came up over the weekend was Vault Ensnared. I was on my Gorn in his Nakul ship, and I went in there and like, wait a second, I don't remember having ever done this mission before.
Okay, so we got Gateway to Grethor.
Ooh. I don't remember if I've done this one either.
This one is about what, like protecting something?
Yeah.
Transport?
Yeah. I have actually done this one.
Split into two teams.
Oh.
One side takes one starbase, one team takes another, and basically keep to that.
I remember this one. I used to, back when Icon was big, I used to play a ton of this.
So like once you're defending the landing transports, this is going to be the key thing. You got to keep your eye out for the radiation portals. The moment you close it, it'll basically open up somewhere else. So you always have to sort of get rid of it as your transports are approaching it, and then just shift it hopefully somewhere back. But the key thing there is that there's going to be other portals that are going to be opening as well. Do not worry about those because those are basically giant red herrings. Killing enemies does not help. You just need to focus on the radiation portals only.
Admittedly, we're only playing these on normals, but I think we're doing quite well.
We're only like 3 seconds in. How do you know?
Just a feeling. Like I said, I used to play this repeatedly.
I took damage from a hull breach already, so you know there's that.
I'm dead already.
Okay, maybe we're not doing so good.
Well, it's surely more comedy if we're doing bad.
We got our side.
All right,
So
avoid
again,
the
for the
ones
next
in
phase, it's just focus on the radiation portals, and then if you want to like effectively split your team, one person closer to the planet, one person closer to the starbase, and then you basically just close whatever portals are closest to you.
Yeah, it's going to be ended up being 2 and 3, and spread yourselves across the length of the run because
Yeah.
it's easier. To...
Yeah. So right
also,
now,
I'm in a ponderously slow ship.
Yeah, so probably you hang in the middle. That would probably be easiest, and then just.
Well, I mean, he can just help.
Yeah.
I'm at the starbase right now,
Yeah.
so
Duncan and I will handle the starbase side.
Yeah. And the yellow portals are complete red herrings. Don't worry about those. Because you close it and it immediately opens up another one. And it's like, yay, you did nothing. It's the green portals. And you only close those once your ships are nearing it, because otherwise it might just jump to where the ships are.
Oh, another thing is you have to remain completely still while closing the radiation gateways.
Yeah.
If you don't, it might reset.
you don't have to avoid getting shot at, because the radiation things give a dot effect. But, you know.
Yeah. Oh. Radiation.
Okay, I guess Mir West has that radiation portal.
A science ship. The mirror use event taught me that I should be able to close these things faster.
Well, I mean, that's different.
I think that mechanic doesn't work here, I imagine.
Nope.
Inconsistent cannon! Yeah, honestly, this one isn't too hard if you've got people who can span the runs properly.
Yeah. And, you know, actually you're paying attention. It's this one I think it's a little bit harder if you're dealing with a newbie team, because they get really distracted.
The old thing of there's a thing to shoot at. I'm gonna shoot it.
Shoot. Yellow portal.
Close radiation gateways.
Yeah.
There's also the other thing, you've got to stand still while you do it, which means your defense drops, and thankfully these guys in this run are actually not all that tough.
No, because it's only the little guys coming out of it. Then once we're through this, we go through the...
I may have clicked the wrong close button. Oh, when you say that you need to stop, I think what you mean is that if you don't stop, you might accidentally move out of interact distance.
Yeah, that's the big worry. Because you can move a little bit, but it's so easy to sort of drift out of a position where you can close it. So it's easiest just to come to a full stop.
Well, if you're like me and in a ship that barely moves, I mean, you know, as long as you're not moving away from it, you should be fine.
I think also if you move behind it, it'll also close out.
My impression always was that there's like zones that interact zones, and so if you start moving between them, it'll reset it.
Yep. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I don't know where the bad guys are from my yellow gateway, but there's none, so I'm just I'm in a complete non-combat situation.
Luckily, one of us brought a competent character.
Yeah, and I'm not fighting anyone right now.
I brought one of my newish 65s, so lacking a few gear, but thanks to the upgrade weekend, what I do have is upgraded a lot.
Bad weekend to have run out of dilithium. Maybe this will fix it.
There's still a little bit left of the
Suppression
weekend.
barrage? What does suppression barrage do?
It's like
Does it
suppressing
make you
fire,
stop-
but in space.
Does it make you stop turning or something? Because I just suddenly noticed I was turning even slower than before when I had that debuff on me.
Not sure. Don't use it myself.
Hmm.
The
It's
Iconians
probably
are
an
all
Intel
about
power.
debuffs.
Yeah.
Debuff strains.
Probably an Intel power, because I know the Iconians use a lot of those.
Yeah, EMP, the EMP probe and the turbulence are their two big.
I hate those a lot.
I think they also use an EMP wave ability.
Yeah, EMP probe is one of the most lethal because it'll just stop your ship dead. The turbulence is just something you can kind of more casually avoid. But the one thing I do like about the crossfield build I've got now is that I can use both Black Alert and my trajector jump from my warp core to really quickly move out of the area of effect.
Iconians were the ones that taught me to always carry engineering team, science team, and hazard emitters.
I actually started doing that because the Alachi annoyed me.
I've been doing that since Borg.
Hazard emitters
Yeah,
especially. That's like the only thing that can...
Clear that burn.
Or the shield neutralizer.
3, 2,
The
1.
lowering cubes use.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that the Borg shield neutralizer idiocy will be removed by hazard emitters.
Yeah. Oh, to answer Hurrion, I'm working on it. Working on some tardigrade ideas. Right now, just trying to get an art style down, which is presentable.
Alright, so I remember this fight being a little bit challenging if you weren't prepared. Just because
Yeah,
they have
'cause
so many, like, debuffs and
Well, I
disables.
mean, it's also one of those fights where they use those Oblivion gateways.
Well, it's the Iconian probes that always threw me.
That's why I usually
Yeah,
try
the
and do
probes are
the
pain.
cruisers, kill the cruisers first. They spawn some of those.
Oh,
That's-
one helpful trick for dealing with the viral probes is that they actually will explode if they touch your ship. So if one of them is close enough to you, you can actually ram it to get rid of it.
Hmm.
Yes, it does damage to your ship, but that is possibly less of an issue than having it disable you constantly.
I'm hoping they take a little look at ramming speed whenever they decide to introduce the Cleave cruiser. For the
Oh
Klingons.
yes, oh yes.
Oh,
I
Cruiser
feel- I
with the
feel like-
Bajoran set is going to be, and that one bridge officer
Duty officer
is going to be nuts. Because they've already
You
got
know,
some stuff to make.
ramming ought
speed
to be a
builds,
viable, thing for that, right?
Hmm. My game seems
I
to
got
have
to turn down
frozen.
game audio.
Sorry, say again?
I got to turn down game audio because it's got a
Oh,
loud.
I always turn it off for this stuff.
I think my game just froze.
Complete thing.
There we go.
Our troops have landed. We will fight for Kronos, thanks to your assistance.
Yeah, I'm hearing an audio loop from the game. I think mine just completely froze on me. Oh boy.
Well, that's okay. We finished the queue, and so...
Yep. So you can, if you want to relog.
Well, I mean the game clang. Oh, there it goes.
So we actually did well. We hit both the optional objectives.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's just like hung. I tabbed to a different window and then tabbed back, and then all of a sudden it's like whoosh. Well.
And I'm in a different instance.
All right, relogging.
Oh, have you guys been enjoying the new Discovery content?
I
I
have
have.
been.
Yes.
I really liked where it put us with the end of the tutorial. It's sort of enough to give you a good feeling for that era without dragging it out, which is why I've basically never gone back to Agents of Yesterday.
Also, apparently that story arc isn't actually complete yet.
Oh, this is only part 1.
Oh yeah, it's enough of a hook though, because it's basically it leaves
because
it.
The final mission where you get pushed forward through time, that is the end of the arc, but we don't have all of the missions in the middle of the arc yet, apparently.
I've been hearing
Well-
that. I'm not sure where. I haven't seen that said anywhere. Though.
No, I haven't seen that said anywhere either. We know that we're going to go deal with things that are. Yeah, basically, it's one of those things where it may have been coming up on priority 1, but it's since there is a time travel component, we may be going back to events in the Discovery era, but I don't know how that's going to be set up. Like maybe existing characters get a time travel narrative, but new characters will have things brought out in sequence. So it could basically be a way of just structuring how more missions are going to be added. There's going to be 2 different perspectives, but we'll have to see on that point. But yeah, it's obvious that Cryptic has not done their current arc because we have that whole thing with Jula, and basically what that's going to mean for the Empire.
That there will be things where we hunt down Jula after she comes to the present. So there's
Yeah, so I think we're in a pretty good shape right now for everything that took place in the Discovery era. And then we're going to be dealing with some other universe episode coming up.
Okay, you can invite me to team now.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured it was something like that. Because Gecko Priority 1 interview and then people looking at what that means. But I think there's, I would just wait for Cryptic to actually announce something.
Well, we know that they've got 3 parts coming over the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
With this one
I just transwarped from DS9 to the Sol system, and I saw something that I don't remember having seen before, and I'm not sure if it's a bug or they changed something to make it do this intentionally, but the entire area between my ship's nacelles started glowing, like it's like formed this cloud while I was doing the transwarp animation.
Yeah, the nacelles generally glow when you're about to transwarp, so that's probably old. Unless they updated the animation, but
I feel well this was the nacelles and the area between them, but also so it's the area between the XSV's nacelles that started glowing, which I'm not entirely sure if that's a bug or what. I don't know.
Did it form like an X?
No, it's just like a cloud. Or at least it looked
I know
like a
sometimes
cloud.
they've gotten the endpoints of the nacelle glows like crisscrossed, and they cross between each other and form a cross.
don't crush the streams.
Are we ready to go for another one?
I think so.
Sure. Hold on. Actually, I need to rearrange my UI slightly. Part of it got squished. I just realized that my ship throttle was hidden behind my weapons bar. Okay, I'm good now.
Yeah. One thing I will say for Age of Discovery is that it is causing me to seriously rethink how it's going to be approaching the next thing after SSF. Because I've basically got 2 competing ideas now, with one being a little bit more conventional and Romulan focused, but my Age of Discovery character is pretty darn good in terms of the writing and backstory, and I've got some pretty good crew dynamics, so it is a tough call whether or not to and it does complement the tardigrade to actually do something that has some discovery focus in the sort of the DNA of the series, rather than trying to work it into something completely different.
Okay, I just saw that X thing you were talking about when I jumped to warp, but that's not what I saw when I was charging the transwarp thing.
Yeah, so there might be some weirdness with how they're setting the nacelle effect points.
So we got
this is a kind of a strangely shaped ship.
we got defensive Starbase 1.
Yeah.
Seems thematically appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Except only one of us brought a Discovery era ship.
Hey, I'm gonna be flying one on this character, just not yet.
I'm flying a ship that was seen in Star Trek Enterprise.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Not
The XSV actually did pop up in one of the episodes of Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh,
It was one of the alternate future Federation ships.
there we go.
That's the one where probably some animator thought it would be funny to stick that in there, and people have been saying, "Oh, that means it's canon."
You know how it is. We think about canon 10 times more than the writers ever do.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
I've been thinking about the kind of like the aspects of Discovery era ships that don't appear in TOS, and I think there's actually some pretty interesting ground to have there, like that the Fed went backwards a little bit in their shipbuilding capabilities in TOS and only basically got to the point they were at in the TMP era.
Honestly, I mean, we only ever saw one Federation ship.
Oh
in
yeah, I'm just
TOS.
thinking like the comparison like between the Nimitz and the Miranda. I think is kind of the most telling, because the Miranda is smaller, it's more spindly. It kind of seems like basically the answer to the problem after the war, where the Klingons blew up most of the Federation infrastructure, and the Fed doesn't have a lot to work with, but there's a lot of pressure to get ships back out quickly. So they may have started doing something similar to what the Fed, was very highly publicized doing in the First Contact for those ship designs of actually, we're going to build things that are meant for war, and because we're angry after DS9. But
I'll be honest. I mean, they say on screen that there's only 12 Constitution class ships.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty much the galaxy of its time. I have a really hard time believing that Starfleet went for a few years with only 12 ships in the entire fleet.
I like to think that.
I mean, 12 Constitution class ships.
Well, Mark, you're breaking up.
If if Federation includes, yeah, I'm also lagging.
I'm lagging too. So, am I lagging?
You sound fine.
Anyway, though,
Okay.
What I was saying though is that having only 12 Constitution class ships makes sense if it's one of several different designs that makes up the Federation fleet.
Yeah, I'm thinking it may have been sort of like the ship that proved itself most in the war, kind of like a lot of power, a lot of capability, a lot of range. And
the latest and greatest.
Yeah, so actually not necessarily the latest and greatest, because it does have some anachronistic designs, because the square nacelle is like a little bit like it's harkening towards the TMP era a little bit more, whereas the completely rounded one is more of an X feature from Enterprise era. So I'm thinking it may have been there's maybe a little bit more to the story of the Constitution class you can write in. It's not necessarily the latest and greatest, but it turned out to be a really good design for the role it was called to play. So it got basically pushed to the front, and then the Constitution classes were really holding the Federation front line, and then there was who knows what sort of on the back end. But I still think that it'd be interesting to write the Federation as sort of going through a long recovery phase in TOS, where they're really struggling to get ships out in the field after the Klingon War. And then basically you only see the Federation getting back to where it was at the start of Discovery with TMP, where you start seeing stuff like the Excelsior and the square nacelles again.
I always like to think of things as being more mundane for these things that some people have latched onto as being really important. So I'm imagining, when it came time to design the Constitution, I'm imagining, some designer just, sitting on a couch, somewhere at Utopia Planitia, maybe he's, smoked a little something, and he's like, dude, what about round nacelles?
Or yeah, just I want to like something that's retro, because like it's a proven design. So.
And then he was fired shortly after.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's interesting though.
Well, I mean, if it's anything like real world design, it's the designs aren't necessarily built with functionality first. A lot of the times, the designs are built with functionality in mind and then modified to look cool.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, even in the TNG era, the shape of the nacelles is not super consistent. You have like the Voyager shape and the Sovereign shape and the Kira shape and
the Norway
Steam
shape,
Runner, which kind of does its own
shape.
thing. And
yeah, they wouldn't really.
Well,
like,
see,
in the Defiant.
one point that
didn't Eves do all those
they made it
First Contact ones?
Yeah.
Are those all John Eves designs?
I don't know.
Or
if he
who's
did
the
all
other
of them.
guy?
Yeah. There's some
forget
nice
who-
variation with there's some consistency like between the class that we're defending and but basically you have the multiple elements in the nacelle like the crossfield and the Machowski class F. But then you also have the Nimitz nacelles and the I really like the square and the rounded sort of combined into one shape.
Oh yes, cleave battleships. I so want these things to have a ship trait related to ramming speed, or maybe a special ramming console.
Wasn't
The console would
there
be fun.
something that allowed a ship to ram without exploding?
There's
I
a
believe
bunch
it's
of
Trojan duty
I believe it's
officer.
duty officer.
Yeah, it's a duty officer, and then if you team that up with a Bajoran set, like that also does some stuff with ramming speed. You can actually just keep doing ramming speed all the time and actually deal massive amounts of damage. So I gotta check.
Yeah,
to
so
see, because that's
it's
not
like using
expensive.
your ship as a missile.
Yeah, and I saw
There's an
that
idea
used.
for a build.
It's hilarious. But yeah, that bridge officer shot up way like a lot in price with the Bajoran set coming out.
So what does the Bajoran set do?
Oh, there's some effects associated with I think the engines that interacts with ramming speed, and then it synergizes with the bridge officer, so you can just keep doing it and deal massive amounts of damage. I think it's what deals the damage, and then the bridge officer allows you just to keep doing ramming speed. So you combine the two together, you keep doing ramming speed. It doesn't kill you, and you do lots of damage.
So apparently, there was a new ship designed for the DS9 documentary.
Oh, I saw that one. That was a great ship.
It's interesting, for sure.
That would kind of like put me in mind as like if that was the Enterprise F, I'd totally go for it.
So wait, I don't think I've seen this one yet.
I posted on Twitter today. It's kind of like a it's a bunch of different styles like combined together. So it's a little bit of the Galaxy, a little bit of the Stargazer. It's got 4 nacelles, but arranged in a sort of a Galaxy configuration. So they're still connected to the
The
Star Drive.
pylons kind of go out and then divide into the 4.
So
you
what's
get-
the impetus for this new design?
It's supposed to be Ezri Dax's ship
Really?
in a hypothetical season 8
Yeah.
or
And-
something like that.
Yeah, so they worked up the concept art, and that's as far as it went. So that got revealed at Destination Star Trek in Birmingham.
Which is only just yesterday, so it's not like you've missed,
Yeah.
a week's worth of news or something.
It's kind of interesting that they were actually planning a Operation Complete.
Did I just eat a warp core breach?
Maybe. Took
No,
lots of
but
damage.
I took like 80% damage all at once. Just saw this big red 56,000 number pop up on my screen.
Well, That one is not the most difficult of queues.
Yeah, really.
No,
There
it's
is
kind of-
actually some minor thing you can do where it's not just kill things, because since the optional is to keep the NPC ships from dying before they warp out, healing them is actually a valid strategy for keeping them from dying.
Yeah, because that's because they sort of balance it in such a way that they are under serious threat from those ships because they don't have shields and they can take damage pretty susceptibly. So you do still have to pay attention to those, but it's not like it doesn't really hammer you with it. So it's sort of a nice kind of
Also, it's
leading you to it.
optional.
Yeah, it's optional, but you still want to do it because you just feel that it's like, oh, there's
Yeah,
simulator
I mean, it's
people.
not like we have fail conditions. Not real ones, anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I do like that queue because it is just sort of a nice mix, and it does play differently from the Swarm too.
Okay,
Just a
be
little.
right
Yeah.
back. Gotta switch characters again.
Do.
Merwest said that if there are no players around them, they will actually get blown up in a few seconds.
Oh yeah, because they will. Yeah, the Klingons will just. Yeah, they'll chew right through it.
But that's assuming that you don't have players distracting them by shooting the Klingons in the face.
Yeah,
So,
some
you know.
players get distracted themselves though.
This is true because you have those assorted extraneous spawns that are like halfway across the map, and you'll have one person who's trying to wipe them off the map, even though they respawn incessantly.
But
I've
there's
actually made that mistake myself.
No, actually, they there is the in between rounds. You do have to clear them out, so they'll respawn, but they're not like they're. It's part of the objective to actually wipe the map at intervals. So you do have to go and clear those guys out. So it spreads you out
periodically, but not constantly.
Yeah. So you do have to spread out to clear all those enemies, and then you're sort of brought back into focus on the lanes. So as an individual, you can be in a really bad position to try to get to that freighter, which then puts the impetus on someone else to really kind of be quick on the uptake. So it kind of keeps you engaged a little bit more than the Swarm, where you basically only have to worry about one of three things, and you're pretty much on target with where you should be at any given time. So it's not like you can kind of be caught out like that. So as far as the queue design goes, I do like Starbase 1 more than Swarm. They're going for similar ideas, but there's more interesting things going on, I think, with the basic setup for Starbase 1. We have these different dynamics playing out.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've gotten 2 space
I may
so
or
far.
may not be flying.
Will we get around?
May or may not be flying a T6 to Kier. Well, I call it a T6 to
Well, yeah, I
Kier.
say there is no
although thing. It looks like a T6 to Kier to me. The actual official name is Sir Huel Reconnaissance Explorer Warbird.
Come on, ground.
This character is actually pretty wide for ground.
Oh, which one is it? Oh, no, space.
Space. Counterpoint.
Space.
Oh,
yeah.
neat.
And this is just
Only
normal,
the
right?
Endeavor was. Yeah, just normal.
Okay. This will be interesting with this build, because...
The Endeavor's Onslaught. Remember,
I say if only the Endeavor was for this one. 'Cause I know it crops up quite a bit for some reason.
Oh yeah, people
this
like
one
this.
Is actually a relatively easy one. It really is.
Yeah, this was relatively still popular too. One of the few newer queues to maintain a population over time. But I do like the fact that the Endeavor system. It really feels like it's just brought new life into the PvE system. To the effect of it's now harder to find a game in Crystalline Entity. Not impossible, but it no longer feels like there's one option you have to play. It feels much more diverse. I've been playing Breach a whole lot. Counterpoint Ground a whole lot, because people are also doing, like, I think it's also the combination with how certain, even though you can skip them, people are still playing through for the the TFO.
Oh, the little wrapper missions.
Yeah, wrapper missions, and that's introducing people to a lot of them. So I've been playing a lot of Solane arc
Which
ones.
is what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, so it's a nice interaction because it's the journal changes, which is good just to breathe new life into characters. We have a new character opportunity, so there's a lot of synergy in Age of Discovery, which I'm really liking.
I am absolutely loving the absence of restrictions from the. There's no level restrictions for missions anymore, and everything is skippable apart from, a couple little fetch quests. So I've been able to
unimportant things that you can do in 5 minutes, anyways.
Yeah. So I've been going through and getting the set pieces that I always wanted, but I didn't want to bother with, going all the way through like the New Frontiers and those guys that weren't skippable before.
Oh, like one thing I did a long time ago was having a character speed level, because the I had heard that the Dominion FE series was going to rotate out of being like an FE, and you would have a higher level requirement to play it. So I had one of my characters just completely grind through everything to get to that one. Wasn't really a good idea, but I did it. And the only actual benefit to it was I ended up getting a relatively low level version of the Jim Hadar set. But
yeah, I tailored my starting experience by basically skipping past the Klingon War and getting right into the Romulan, just to actually just have a different feel for living with a character, and that's been just fantastic because I'm
tell you,
playing
one
missions for
of the
fun.
funny things. One of the funny things is that you can play missions at any level now. So, here I am playing Ragnarok at level 7.
Ooh, yeah,
that sounds hilarious.
Without a hull heal, which was a really bad idea because that, at the first part of the battle, there's a map-wide hull damage over time effect.
Oh god.
So yeah, that was a little. It took a little while, but I got through it.
Yeah,
with many deaths.
I skipped forward to just get I've skipped forward. I'm still playing the Iconian War and Delta Rising missions in order, but I skipped forward just to bring some temporal arc missions into it. But yeah, I didn't skip that far forward because I wanted sort of.
I was just looking for things that might give me some interesting gear. There's some interesting consoles from that Iconian War series.
Oh yeah.
I got nailed by a quantum torpedo crit. 39,000 damage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, crits are still
Those
a little messed up.
sometimes hurt really bad. Well, also it's the fact that the Terran NPCs, when that happens, they're actually using a torpedo skill.
Yeah, that was torpedo.
Yeah, and the way their skills work is kind of in a rough shape right now. So they were doing some experimentation. They might tweak further, but yeah, it's the torpedo strikes have been something Cryptic has been looking into.
It's actually been said to be something that's a leftover from the old Borg torpedoes, where you would have the insta-kill Borg P of death, where it looks like an ordinary torpedo, but it does some insane amount of damage. That's
just one shots your ship more or less.
A one shot.
I went from doing fine to blowing up 3 times in a row.
Yeah, so it's you got to watch out for the point defense on these guys, the torpedoes, and the feedback.
Oh yeah, those the escorts. All of them have that stupid point defense, and I think the MVAM version of the escort actually gets to have the MVAM pets use it.
Yep. So yeah, you got Terran Empire. I think is for me one of the more challenging to face because you do have to really be on your toes for those defensive abilities, and even just check out nope. I'll just let it run out and then come back and fight it.
One thing to remember about the point defense is that it has a range of 7K. So if you're outside 7K, you can be safe from it and still fire at them.
Good to know.
Well, I know this because I use that ability on several of my ship builds, and it's essentially the same as the playable version of the ability.
Yeah. An important part on this one is people usually will go to sort of doing the rounds first. Oh god, I exploded.
I just got shot at by I don't know how many Klingons, and this ship isn't that tough.
There
Terror.
are
yeah,
no Klingons.
oh, God.
There are no Klingons in this mission.
Yeah. I got hit by 3
sure?
torpedo salvos simultaneously.
I just delivered an
Yeah,
assault team.
that's kind of like what happened to me.
At least one
Yeah.
of us isn't
Oh.
sucking horribly.
Yeah, I was doing great, but then I got hit by 3 torpedo salvos.
Well,
at the same
I
time.
died earlier, but
Well, it takes a hardcore tank to be able to take half a dozen of these guys. It really does. I can do it on some of my ship builds, but this isn't one of them.
Yeah, my
I fear I
Klingon
was
can do
afraid
it.
there wouldn't be enough antics.
Yeah, my Klingon's pretty good on that one. Right now, I've got basically the torpedo science build, which works out really well. It just doesn't do so well when I'm getting... Yeah, I'm the one who's drawing out the threat.
Oh, yeah, you can get some ridiculous threat playing torpedoes.
I got all healing abilities, too, so I can recover pretty quickly on this one, but yeah, right now I'm not recovering quickly enough because I'm tapped out.
I'm actually wondering if using pep clouds actually increases your aggro
Oh my God.
score. Because I'm not entirely sure if the pep cloud it actually counts towards your aggro or not.
Oh, God.
the things it hits you with while you're delivering assault teams is pretty hard.
Yep, no.
Well, Terok Nor actually does shoot at you.
Yep, another set of torpedo criticals.
Oh, also, it is a genuine mission objective
Why have my
to shoot
shields
at
just-
Terok Nor.
Your shields go down when you're doing delivery stuff.
Ah, okay.
Constant beams. So, some of the enemies use tachyon beams. Sorry, tachyon, not quantum. Some of the enemies use tachyon beams, and the NPC version of tachyon beam does change shield damage.
Mark, you're breaking up again.
I mean, shield only damage, but oh, he does.
Yeah, I can't hit that guy there.
More often than not, it'll just completely drain your shields to 0 in a matter of seconds. Guess what happens if you get hit with a quantum torpedo spread while your shields are down because of that?
Nothing good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to
Actually,
be in a
probably
place with
seen it already.
the nice place to be in with Age of Discovery, where the point I'm struggling with is not how can I write a Foundry character about this? It's
Terrans are real
which one do I do?
pain because they have a wide variety of abilities, and when
Internet is
Mark,
falling
we
apart.
really can't hear you.
they combine their abilities together, they do some horrific things. Well, my ship just rubber banded all over the place.
Yeah, we're having a hard time hearing you. Look at all my AoE effects. I'm just, yeah, I kind of just abandoned. It was not working out well for this build. Doing lots of damage, but
Oh,
yeah,
you're saying
I was a
anything
little.
left.
yeah, my
few
crossfield
minutes.
isn't so good on that one because it's not tanky enough for sustained fire. It's more, it's sort of like this one always wins CCA. that's its thing.
Well, if it's a science ship, that's because why?
Well, it's science, torpedo, massive amounts of that, like just big spread effects. It's got a Mark 15 neutronic and gravimetric torpedo on it. So that yeah, that really does a lot of damage, especially with a lot of torpedo abilities and synergy between them.
We need to pound Terok Nor more for the optional. I'll get right on that.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Yeah, we're not going to get the average down enough.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's a good point. Oh crap, I just got hit with a ridiculous amount of torpedoes.
If only I had my cross. Dang it, I'm still wishing for that crossfield for my AoE Age of Discovery character, but I can get by without it. Because it's the basis for my current main, so it's like I kind of don't want to make it like do that, but at the same time, it is it's just such a good ship.
It is a little frustrating when they release a ship and then later release a mini faction for that ship.
Yeah. Yeah. This time it was a little like I kind of still like I'm okay with where it ended up because my build can really take great advantage of it. So, and it really works well for the character too. So it's just one of those things where I wish I got two of them. Or if they did an unlock, like if Lockbox and Lobby ships are count unlock, that would basically be Nirvana. But
that would be for a lot of people.
Or if you could repack them somehow, and give them to one other character in your account.
Yeah, I would still probably keep the crossfield where it is. I don't know. I mean, dang it, that's a tough call because this is a really great build. I can kind of do something similar on my Constitution class, but I wouldn't repack it. Oh, well, I think it'll be fine. Like the Nimitz works really well on my Discovery main, and then or Discovery character, and then the Shepherd class is going right to him too. So between those two, my bases are covered. It's like the Black Alert trait. That's kind of that'd be nice to get as an account. Like the.
That was cool. Yeah, the closing cutscene had a picture of my particle emission plasma torpedo explosion. I love those. Anyway.
Another success.
Yay! And only blew it repeatedly this time.
To be honest, when you're doing task forces on normal, you don't really have a reason to expect to lose. You really don't.
No, I think most of the goal for normal is that as long as you finish it to the end, you don't lose.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch characters.
Okay.
Just to mix things up a little bit. Also
right.
give my Discovery
Wardrobe
character an
change.
outing. Yeah,
I'd
kind of
do
the
that
same
as well.
build though, just from coming in from science rather than tactical. Also, I am using the motion picture era pulse phasers instead of Discovery phasers. Those still work really well. Just to kind of fit the style.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna switch characters again.
I'm enjoying the music for
I just thought of something. Well, actually, you know what? I'll look next time I do one. All right, Suliban stealth cruiser time.
Fleet Nimitz, which I actually bought with fleet ship modules rather than C-Store. Because I knew I was only going to go for one character. And I wanted to say, well, basically I had a lot of EC, and then it's like, yeah, I'm just going to go for the ship.
Well, I have an ulterior motive
Okay,
in sticking
you
with this
should
character,
invite me.
which is I need expertise.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Certain missions are good for expertise, certain ones aren't.
Yeah, the
And Qs they're half decent for expertise.
It depends on which one. It really actually is pretty highly variable.
I would say I got more from that last one than I did from Defensive Starbase 1.
Yeah, Starbase 1, I don't think the enemies give XP, because they definitely don't give
Certain
it.
of them
I've been
ship
hearing
mastery.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, they give none
Certain
for
of
ship
them
mastery.
which is odd.
It's the ones where they respawn incessantly. Those ones don't. And anything that respawns as soon as you kill it in that specific mission doesn't. And there's some others that are like that, but most of them don't have that issue.
If it's not something that's like a bug and unintentional, I could see it as Cryptic trying to make sure that Starbase 1 doesn't become the new Borg Red Alert by making sure that it doesn't offer everything. It offers the choice of marks, but it doesn't actually give you a good spot for leveling a ship. So you still want to play other queues.
One of the really weird, old, stupid exploits was a way that people would get what were essentially free commodities back in the old days. It was something that was just this off-the-wall, stupid exploit that you could only do it in a certain specific mission because it required you to shoot. Oh, hello, bug hunt!
Ground!
It's a bug hunt, man.
Dang it! This character. Dang it.
Well, it's only normal.
It's only normal.
Don't worry, I'll protect you.
Yeah,
I'm going to put on my EV suit.
Yeah, it's not that I've got a bad build. It's still like I'm a little bit further away from where I want this character to be on ground than I am for space. Space, I've basically got.
More?
This ought to be really funny.
Yeah, it's just equipment. I'm still working on it. Still trying to get a good set of kit modules. I think I'm going to go like a lot of ice powers. So I want to replace something with endothermic reaction, which I can't get until the winter event.
Dragoon, is it not broadcasting video to the stream?
Oh,
yeah, it just went.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
I'd switched it over when I was switching
Dragoon
characters.
turned it off when he switched characters, and he forgot to turn it back on.
It's fine now.
There we go.
We won.
All right, I shelled out 200 low buy for this suit, and it better be worth it.
Spoiler, it's not.
I'm actually gonna. Yeah, I only have 2 duty officers too for ground specs, so. No active powers. Oh well.
I will motivate you into healing yourself.
Yay!
I remember running this a lot when it first came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite ground queues.
This is actually one of the few that I
We
could
have
put
to
Delta
heal
marks on against
Lieutenant Idiot.
them. Help!
Yeah, if he gets KO'd by the bugs, you have to heal him before you can blow up the rocks.
Bringing Tardigrade along. These aren't his friends. These are angry bugs.
I don't know. I think they need some hugs. Some very, very, very aggressive hugs.
They need aggressive hugging. I'm a little disappointed. Like I've been using the Discovery era. Well, I actually upgraded the starter ship or the starter pack Discovery sniper rifle to very rare Mark 15. Still feels a little wimpy, but that's just sniper rifles.
Duncan, if you ever wanted to design a
Yes!
T-shirt involving your tardigrade character, you just have his arms out and it'd say "Initiate aggressive hugging."
Yeah, that's one of them.
I might buy one.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically right now I've got to worry about actually selling T-shirts. Like I can definitely just give out the designs. People go to T-shirt making websites. But yeah, we'll see how that works out. Because again, my priority
it's not
right
like
now
it's
is
not like an actual tardigrade is copyrighted, right?
No, tardigrades
I am
are
using
a real thing. So it'd be
And
like
you're-
trying to copyright an elephant.
Exactly.
is I do.
And
use,
I mean,
Yeah.
there have been people who made that the attempt, though. So but
the thing is, I don't use the actual tardigrade design. Definitely use CBS's design. So
no, I mean,
I would
yours
need
is
to-
pretty stylistically unique.
Well, yeah, I'd have to
It's inspired
I would
by
ask.
Star
I would
Trek,
ask a
but-
lawyer that first, but
Well, yeah, I know what design features I've put on. I've used from the show. So, I mean, I could design an original tardigrade, but for now, I want to concentrate on sending Kale some art for a book. That's going to
Then
be
the T-shirt arcs.
Then the T-shirt. We'll see that if we can get. Because I got some already good ones for a T-shirt design. I mean, the T6 tardigrade one for a start, or the USS tardigrade. And also, what's inside a tribble? Make sure. Oh, in the Orca class.
I think my favorite thing about this mission is making "Would you like to know more?" jokes.
Hee
I used to play the Starship Troopers soundtrack when I played this.
Show that we need to jump down this narrow fissure in the rock. Be careful.
Yeah, the science build I've kind of gone for both ground and space of
Assault
damage
team fall down
resistance
the
reduction.
hole.
So this should make the bosses a little bit easier. Because all my powers
Rival
are...
Queen, kick it to the face.
Yep, he's going down.
And then a micro torpedo to the face.
Yeah.
What Rival Queen?
Yeah, because I got my full, most of my kit powers on that one, and then it's just yep, your damage reduction is, yeah. your armor is now made out of paper mache.
Well, see, the armor that I'm using is actually the Undine Rep armor, which has psionic and toxic resistance built into it.
Specifically
Yeah,
because of this queue.
I've only got the make
No,
one.
not
That
for
does all
this. Because the Undine use psionic and toxic effects.
Give me a moment. I'll clear a path.
Yeah.
It's something that's for a completely different enemy group that just happens to be really good for this one. That's the whole.
Yeah, I'm using the Lucari fleet equipment just because that was a quick way of getting competent gear. And then I'm thinking about replacing it with the Omega armor set with the full auto rifle. But we'll see on that one. I still haven't decided what kit set I'm going to be using. I'm thinking that, and then the Boolean cannon.
I think I can get
You
it.
can't go
Oh,
wrong
the
with Boolean
rock.
cannon.
Hurry up.
Yeah, I think it works well too for the kind of the power spread, because I've tried that on my I tried that on an engineer or on the attack, and that actually didn't work out so well. Engineering, it actually it sort of fits real nicely with the cadence of the abilities. Yeah, Boolean cannon I think should work out pretty well, because you sort of you would basically it kind of fits in. I use in between using powers, because I'm mainly just using secondary fire on this.
Well, one weapon kit module combination I love using for this, and it was a combo I came up with because of this. It's something I tried with this and decided was really good. Is using the Undine wrist lance with the winter kit module that adds a cold effect to your weapon attacks. Because that applies to the secondary fire, even though the secondary fire is a giant flame patch.
Oh, what's adding the cold effect?
One of the winter vent kit modules, like cryotronic
Oh,
modulation
yeah, that
or
one.
something. So you create this giant AoE that burns and freezes the enemy simultaneously.
Yeah. Also to address Ariane, it's also too, I like for the t-shirt selling, I don't know actually like what's actually a good way to do that.
You could do like Cafe Press or one of those.
Oh yeah, like to make an individual shirt and then put that out, but there's also ways of like collecting a bunch of designs and actually putting those up for sale. So it's like, I just don't know the best way to go about doing that, and what would sort of work best for other people too. I could certainly like put, do the Cafe Press like we did with the Foundry Roundtable t-shirt, and just basically make a few curated designs and say, hey, people, go nuts. Because I actually did that once before.
I need to research more into. Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, that's this build.
Oh yes, if everyone just fires the queen, it is fast.
I always have to look to make sure which one. Double check on.
Lieutenant 88 got KO'd by the guy spitting acid at you.
Yeah, that's the one where
We're
basically
leaving him here.
Yeah, basically when you're done that one, you just basically queue out, and it's just like, good luck.
See you, buddy.
Ariel.
Could make a Foundry mission where you go back and turns out he's still there.
There is actually a safe spot, and that's if you run back to the end. I was wrong. Crap.
Run away! The cave of Kyle Badar.
Here at the Foundry Roundtable, we definitely leave men behind.
That's our primary mission.
Yeah, unfortunately though, the Undine Wrist Lance, since it's a low-buy weapon, only one of my characters has that one.
I'm pulling the trigger. I'm gonna go get my Lobby, and I'm gonna go.
So much fun to use though.
Because I've got a bunch of Lobby saved up for my ill-fated attempt. Well, actually, it was still pretty good because I got a crap ton of Lobby from a couple of basically jackpots on those. But Discovery full auto rifle.
All right. Rotate. You actually get one of those for free as a Discovery character, and it's actually something you can trade.
I know people were like creating and then disposing of characters just to get a bunch of those weapons.
Yeah, I might go back to that again.
And I guess once you fully upgrade it, it's actually pretty much identical to the Lobby one. It's like slightly different, but not by much.
Yeah, because it's like a bolt setting versus like a full auto setting.
Not exactly. It's like a full auto setting with like a random. The damage per second on this one seems to be calculated as if you fired 2 bolts, and it's really the delay between firing cycles is equal to what you would expect for 2 bolts. So the actual DPS is about the same as a regular full auto. It just looks different.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually made a YouTube video comparing the two of them, just because people were asking about it on the forum.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I definitely spend the Lobby on something else.
Yeah, I got the.
I didn't actually spend the low buy because people on the forum were asking about it. I spent the low buy because I wanted the weapon, and that particular character used the Discovery uniforms.
Yeah, I still got 200 Lobby, so saved up because I know the next lockbox might include some ground visuals that I want.
So
well, you know the next one is going to be that's what I'm thinking.
Well, Klingons from Mirror Universe, but either way it goes, I'm probably gonna want that costume. So the next Discovery lockbox, basically.
Well, one thing I'm really hoping that they do for the Age of Discovery thing is add the ability to play as a Discovery era Klingon.
That would be really cool.
See, because you can write the character as being someone who is, gets flung forward in time because of Jaula's antics, because, there's an entire fleet at the Starbase 1. So you just say that your ship happened to be part, even if you aren't personally loyal to Jaula.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
A long time since I've been here.
I gotta buy a remodulator. Wait, no,
Underground
I got one in inventory.
facility.
What even is this one?
This is Kittimer
Stubby
Stasis.
death time.
The ground portion of Kittimer Accord.
This will be interesting because this is the one that requires
who's-
team coordination.
Oh, is this
Who's
the one where you have to do that puzzle?
designated person to stand inside the box?
Yeah.
It's not really a puzzle. It's not a puzzle. It's one person goes into this closet and pokes buttons on a console, and each time they poke a button on a console, a group of Borg spawn next to a quest objective, and then people have to kill the quest objective before the Borg kill them.
Yeah. Well,
Also, you have like a 10-second timer to kill the quest.
yeah. So yeah, that does require a little bit of coordination. So
Also, I just realized that I have an experimental set of kit modules that suck.
So,
don't worry, I got a Mark 15
jumping
Boolean
back
cannon now.
into-
Ooh, flash freeze bomb. That should make this fun. Choose your pain. No, quantum order. Oh, stop shooting at me, Borg. I'm changing my kit modules.
Elite tactical
Okay,
drone.
now we're
Go
good.
boom. Oh, one thing.
Oh, wait. Actually, the reason why I was at Red Alert actually had nothing to do with the Borg. So someone used a team buff that forced me into Red Alert temporarily. Oh, yes. I am totally using the Butcher's Mek'leth.
Taste my blue sword that I just bought off the exchange 5 minutes ago.
Oh, we were had to wait a few seconds on the countdown because I was on the exchange buying a new ground trait. It's like I've got time. Yep, working out well.
Yeah, while I have several backup melee weapons on this character, none of them is tradable. Ah, pity.
I don't know if this was a factor before, but one thing I noticed with the first few Borg missions that, like, when you get the adaptation lockout, you actually get something that appears as a status indicator below your character pane, and you can actually hover over it to see what they've adapted to.
That's been there a long time.
Yeah, I just noticed it.
So in
But
the
Borg
original,
adaptation has always been a character debuff, which is why it doesn't work on your bridge officers. It just works on you personally.
they're dead.
Yeah, that's what this character does.
So this is why I tell people when you're making Foundry missions, don't bunch up don't leave your enemies bunched up. Because people like you could just kill them all.
Yep, and
in one shot.
Science!
And several of my characters can as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
this elite tactical drone is taking like no damage from me stabbing it.
Yeah,
Or maybe it's just a lag thing. I don't know.
it's a tough one. It killed me.
Gravitational Juncture is a great kit module for anyone using sort of AoE science abilities, because it does bring them together really magnificently and give them a debuff. And also does more DOT, I think. Actually, no, that doesn't do DOT. It just reduces damage resistance rating, and yeah, it's just an all-around good complementary science.
All right, so who wants to go inside the box?
I don't know how to use the box. Someone else go in the box.
I
Fine,
will
I'll
go in
use
the box if somebody knows how to will walk me through how to use the box.
All you do is kill all of the Borg that spawn inside the box, because there will be Borg trying to kill you inside the box.
What it's worth, I'm wearing the Mako set, which is technically made to fight the Borg.
And you get the quick frequency remod too.
Where's the?
Well, one
where's
thing to remember about being a turret spamming engineer, actually, yeah, it's in the other room.
Yeah.
The Sentinel at me, drone.
Anyway, like I was saying, one of the good things about being a turret spamming engineer is that every time you resummon a turret, the adaptation for that turret is reset.
So this is the thing where you can get the
Come here,
optional
Borg.
objective that gets you a
Yes, it is.
the Borg.
Well, except that
This
they
is
made
what I
the-
was talking about, where you have to jump into the thingy and get incinerated for a accolade, and then after you get the accolade, you can get a bridge officer.
They added the bridge officer to the reputation store, so you can actually just get him now for a bunch of Omega marks without having to do
Oh,
this.
you don't need the accolade anymore?
Nope. You can just claim him from the reputation store. Well, not the store, but he's a project.
Oh, I was thinking you needed the accolade to unlock the project.
Nope.
Oh.
As
Well,
far as I
you
know.
still get an accolade for it, so hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was always a little weird having to ask the teams like, "Hey, can I go kill myself? I know it's going to make the run longer."
Just if you're really fast, you can just jump in. You know what? I'm going to go stand in the box. I've actually done this before, so yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Cannon.
when you approach one of the targets, you will hear game audio telling you which location you're at, like A1, A2, B3, something like that. Yeah, see that? Node Alpha 1.
All right.
Well, you went to clear the Borg from the area before you... You know what?
Yeah, that's what we're doing now.
I'm going to come back up and to...
No, we're taking care of Borg.
Well, it's just like wipe all of the Borg... Oh, yeah, I know. So what I was saying is I'm going to go help you wipe Borg.
No, we're not
Or
having
I'm
trouble
going to
with
get
that
a
part of it.
sonar.
I mean, what can I say? We've been fighting Borg for years.
Activate
All
transport.
our lives, practically.
All our still lives.
Mortars are so much fun on this map.
My
Because they can
character is
hit all of
Discovery.
them.
He has no idea what's going on.
I think the way the map's designed too, if you place your turrets in the starting area, they'll still be able to shoot everything because you just sort of basically go down.
Well, mortars.
Yeah.
The other kinds of turrets, not so much.
No, but yeah, those mortars. I like
Okay.
neutronic mortar.
Are we ready to kind of bring down some of these? Have we gotten everybody?
Yeah, I just have no good way of orienting myself, so I'm just going to go upstairs just in case.
I'm going to go stand in the box now.
Okay.
I like how this thing transferring, when you do that, it actually uses a Borg transporter effect for your character moving.
Okay, so I've got a good eye on.
Okay, tell me which location you guys are at.
We're in the middle, so I can see
Hang on.
all six of them.
Okay, so let's start here.
Okay.
Okay, I heard Beta 2.
Yeah.
So 2.
Hang on. Oh, guys, come here. I can't do this all by myself.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Oh.
Hang on. Okay, node's down.
Boom.
All right.
Other beta.
I don't think this queue was originally designed with Mark 14 gear in mind.
Nope.
Okay, so which
Beta
floor
1.
are you guys on again? You're on the middle floor?
Yeah, middle
Yeah.
floor.
Okay, so I just hit 2A.
Okay. We didn't kill it fast enough.
All right. Well, get ready for another round. 2 and 8.
Okay, it's down.
Okay.
I think the key is that we got to destroy the node first because the shield will come back up, and then we can worry about all the drones that spawn in.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Is that when I push the button, it will spawn a bunch of Borg. Ignore them, break the thing, then kill them.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Alpha 1.
All right, Alpha 1 time. Ready?
Ready.
Alrighty.
All right.
Yeah,
node's
once I
down.
deploy all my abilities, it basically it goes away pretty quickly.
All right. Are you guys going to B1?
Yep.
Hang on, we're almost there.
Oh, oops. Click the button too
Oh, good.
fast.
We got it. That's
Cool.
all of them. There's just the 4, right?
No, there's 6 of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
okay.
2 down below.
Down on the bottom level, yeah.
Yeah. Whee!
Did anyone play this when it was a really long, story-driven queue?
Beta 3.
No,
I believe I
I
did.
actually
once.
did not.
yeah, I started after
You
that.
guys ready for Beta 3?
Yep.
Hang on.
Ready? Oh.
Okay, go for it.
All right, it's destroyed.
Alright, I'm going to resummon my neutronic mortar quick. Alright, so, last one. I push the button.
All right, we got it.
Cool. I'm going to finish wiping the Borg in this room because attacking me. Yeah, every time Borg is spawned in this room too. Do. And you can't use the console to get out while they're Borg trying to kill you.
Whee!
Activate transport.
I went in the bucket, or I went into the death chamber.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I
wonder
don't
if I
think I
can-
actually have that activated with this character.
Yeah, I just got the accolade, no bridge officer. So, oh wait, you have to do that in advance, though, right?
Actually, the bridge officer thing in the old days, it didn't give you the bridge officer automatically. It gave you a mission, and completing the mission would give you the bridge officer.
Yeah, you had to go like talk to 4 of 10 or whoever at Task Force Omega.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's the reason why they changed it to a rep project. Is because you can't go to Task Force Omega anymore unless you use a fleet transwarp gate to get there.
yeah,
I think I'm going backwards here.
I'm somewhere else.
Where are we going?
I died.
The other IMR is on the top floor. It's the one that I just jumped into to incinerate myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I died.
I see you on
I'm-
the map now. So we need to go find it.
If all of you guys are done incinerating yourselves, I will push the button to blow it up now.
Yeah, I incinerated myself and respawned, and having to work my way all the way back from the opening spawn point.
Okay then, I'm pushing button.
I got a tardigrade with me.
Okay, so where's the exit to this room?
Up, I assume.
So, do.
I'm not so sure, but okay.
Yeah, there, I found someone. Found Spiritborn.
We got the optional. I don't remember
Okay.
exactly. Oh, yeah, that's right. The way you leave is back up the way you came, believe it or not, because the boss chamber is actually near the original spawn point. You do all of this stuff to drop a force field letting you into the boss chamber.
All right, I deployed a waypoint. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Okay, I think we know where we're going now.
Also, I may or may not have.
Should have rid it Targrade.
Wouldn't let me.
Okay, we're here now.
Okay, all good. Attack!
All right.
Hello, Denatra.
Oh, you're not looking so good.
Oh, transphasic bomb. Yep, I just used it like it's supposed to be used. Alright.
Eat death! I'm hiding while my health is low, very courageously.
In case you're wondering what I did with the transphasic bomb, I picked out the boss and ran over to him as fast as I could, dropped it at his feet, and then before he had a chance to blink, I pushed the button to make it explode.
I like doing that with chronoton mines.
Yeah, well, for this one I used the transphasic bomb. It actually does a lot of damage to bosses.
I used the little spore relay bomb thing.
Oh yeah.
I have that on this character, actually. The spore relay thing is fun when you want to use mines, but you don't want to have... And you want to be able to drop them on top of a boss, but you don't want the boss to be able to punch you in the face afterwards.
Yeah, I tried it out on a more miney build, and it's like, I kind of like the chronoton a little bit better. I like the spore effect. It's kind of one of those ones where I wish it pushed you backwards rather than forwards, because forwards kind of seems a little
You can actually
odd.
just like can actually just about face as you place the bomb or mines.
Yeah, it's still a little awkward though. I mean, compared to just doing a chronoton and then just double tapping yes, because then you just roll back.
All right, so we have a question from our chat room. Gentleman who likes playing beam boats and has no gear at the moment. What should he work on first?
It kind of just type of
What's your weapon flavor?
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of comes down to that.
My first thought is tactical fleet consoles.
Oh yeah, but that's definitely the way to go. Is tactical fleet consoles from your Spire. So join a fleet. You get enough resources for these. These are expensive, but they do provide you the most bang for your buck. It's from the Spire.
It's these right here. It's the vulnerability locators are the favorite, and then you can get them in your flavor.
Yeah. So, but as far as rep goes, it's basically there are a few rep sets, and the best thing to do is look on the Stowe wiki for which each set gives you, because it is too much to list off on a podcast right now. But basically, like Romulan has the plasma; those are pretty good. It's got a set for that, including a beam array. There's beam arrays in most of the armament sets, but it just depends on what weapon type do you want to go for. And what other bonuses do you want? Like, Lucari one does give you some bonus to exotic damage builds and works with torpedoes. And then, yeah, you get a little bit more drain out of the Romulan one. So it really kind of just depends on style and what else your build is doing. So it's almost like there's no one right answer to that one. So there's no, like...
You know, that question I had earlier, I think I've answered it now, and the answer is no, and that's about. You don't. No, yeah, never mind. I found it. Yes, you do actually have a TFO button if you are queued.
Yeah. And as far as Polaron goes, the set kind of plays to mines a little bit. So if you really want a good Polaron build, also Delta too.
There's
Delta
a couple
and
of
Lucari.
mission sets that work really well with Polaron as well.
Yeah.
I want to say like the Crenum's one of the Crenum sets.
Crenum does.
there's the one. Let's see. What is that one that gives you Polaron?
The
Omni.
new set from Home with the mission Home that came out
Yeah.
with the.
So there's a lot for Polaron.
Yeah,
but
there's
if you wanna
that
go
one.
for-
There's also another one. Time and Tide also gives you an omnidirectional.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too.
The chronometric Polaron set.
Yeah.
Colorado
so the
Polaron set is good. I've done Polaron builds and.
Yeah, I've been using that. But yeah, so if you're looking for rep, then your options are Jem'Hadar, Lucari, and Delta. But it is also worth looking into what opens up at Tier 6. But, I mean, if you're picking a rep for the first time, I wouldn't necessarily look at Tier 6 options as much because those are going to be a while. I'd really look for what starts off first.
Wait, well, why are you using the Tier 5 Vet Destroyer? You can trade it in for a Tier 6 now.
I was guessing that you're using the fleet version.
Yeah, Kinetic Cutting Beam, that's great for a
Is
rear
the fleet
slot.
one? Oh.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
no. Sorgeth is posting more in chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Mark and I are talking to you. Dragoon.
Oh, yeah, I've got the
We're
T6
noticing
version.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't see it doesn't have the trait at the end of the mastery, so I'm guessing that's the fleet version.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what confused me.
Yeah, fleet version doesn't get the
'Cause if you
mastery
didn't-
trait.
Yeah, if you didn't know that, it would look like a T5.
But I, of course, unlocked it previously on the regular T6 version.
Yeah, Borg is also just the Omega set's also another good rep to go for. And with the random reputation, you don't really have to make that much of a choice between which ones you're going for. Just concentrate in a few starting off. So yeah, if you're going for Polaron, Omega, good default, just gets you a few interesting gear items. But yeah, Lucari, Delta, Jem'Hadar are the top choices for Polaron stuff.
And a note about the random
Hilariously
TFOs is
enough,
any marks you get in a rep that you don't want to build, you can just turn into dilithium.
Oh, that too. Yeah, I'm working right now on just getting all of them to tier 6.
There it goes.
well, one thing that's rather hilarious is that
Ooh, a
I
classic.
have one character with the Mako set, and that's actually my Tholian.
For a little bit of fun, I picked up a few of the recent Omni consoles from the lockboxes because I forgot Cryptic kept doing that. So I've got one from I think the Smuggler box that gives extra dilithium, and the one though from the one from the Swarm box. That one's really nice for phaser builds that do torpedo because it buffs phaser and torpedo damage. And also is a really nice DOT effect. It also works well for exotic builds. So basically, the ship I'm running right now. Uh-oh.
Oh man, I'm lagging horribly right now.
I may have just killed all those spheres.
Do you want me to reprimand you? Make it sound like you're
No,
apologizing.
it's just I drew all the threat.
The only good Borg's a dead Borg.
Solane said, "Save me."
Or a
There's
liberated
also
Borg.
really.
Technically,
Yeah,
I'm a
Solane
liberated
said-
Borg.
No, dead.
Oh, does this mean we have to shoot the Greendragoon now?
Yes.
Good luck with that.
Oh,
Actually,
when I
I'm
was
a good
upgrading my
character now.
when I was upgrading my quad phasers I've got on this, they upgraded to ultra rare. Now they're really powerful.
I used some of the automatic Mark 15 ultra rare ones on some Discovery dual beam banks here, so this character's got a little gold on him.
Yeah, plasmonics
Someday.
really just another comment from Sorgoth asking about Plasmonic Leech. It's a thing, and it used to be sort of the super meta. Now it's just really useful. So it just basically drains power from enemies, gives it to yourself. Key thing there, enemies, unless you're going for a drain build, you won't notice the effect. But it just gives you a bunch of power. So it's one of those ones where it works out pretty well. Science characters benefit a lot more from it. So if you're not science, don't worry about it so much. Other things are going to take priority, but it's not a bad choice.
I did the science ship thing and slowed them down.
Yeah,
Coming in for the crushings. So for an actually engineer, unless you can still make use of Plasmonic Leech for a because as an engineer you can do a lot with power levels. So it gives you more power. If you're benefiting, you benefit from a few core abilities, captain abilities for that. So yeah, Plasmonic Leech still a good bet. But yeah, definitely play around with it. Just see if you really get that much out of it when using it. And then if you don't, then just it's a count unlock, so just hang on to it, maybe use it on a different character or a different build. A lot of, just finding out what works with Stow is basically you just try something out, see if it works. If it doesn't, oh well.
Alright, time to push all the buttons to make the space magic happen.
Yeah. Very similar.
I don't even know how many space magic buttons I just pushed.
I got some.
well,
I
if
use
the
the
answer isn't all of them, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, very similar principle to how I built my ground character for the space. So, making use of science of just a lot of damage resistance debuffs.
Well, that was pretty much a perfect ISA run.
Yeah.
Well, IS normal, actually. Not
Optional
ISA.
objectives to seize. My bridge officer is saying I'm amazing.
They better. They're getting demoted.
Starting to get low on some reps.
I'd say we got time for one, possibly two more.
Hmm.
Depends on how quick they go.
It's actually been fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we haven't
No,
gotten
right,
anything
not
that
at
we've
all.
like outright hated or anything.
No.
Well, realistically, there aren't very many queues that are actually worthy of being like, oh god, I don't want to play this, it's horrible.
People complain about ground, but I mean, if you actually build for it,
That's because it's just what the thing is like. A lot of players hate ground because in space they set up macros to do half the combat for them.
It's also like with the option to just keep doing space queues, you basically get in the habit of doing that, and that also just reinforces the preference.
yeah.
Because people really don't complain about mission like grounding combat missions, but it's just like they mix them in PvE queues. It's like, oh my god. Well, at least in a certain percentage of the community, that generally has that reaction to most things.
I mean, because well, like I said, though, it's just one of those things. It's like when you set up the thing, it's like, okay, I'm going to use all of my weapon buffs, push button. I mean, when you have your setup geared to work that way, it kind of takes most of the effort out of actually doing space combat. And for some reason, I am at Nimbus 3 right now, and I don't remember why this character went to Nimbus.
Wanted to become one with the desert.
No. I might
You are not
have
desert
been
creature?
testing a new thing. I'm an Orion. A Starfleet Orion.
Deploying tardigrade. Yeah, Journal release, if people are looking for just more ways of bumping up their ground build, it's really sort of, it is a nice sort of thing to have in clutch for a bunch of different builds, but science and engineering can really benefit from it. It gives you that, it's an activated ability, relatively short cooldown, but it gives you that 50% damage increase, but at a big cost of damage resistance. So you basically flash it on, do an alpha strike, and then turn it off. But it's a great way of really kind of amping up an okay build into something that can really deal a lot of damage.
As your Nebula. Well, you guys remember what the numbers are for, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Nothing too big right now, so let's just spread out.
Is this queue working? I seen
it's
people saying
working.
it was working.
Yeah,
it
level
works.
scaling.
It's annoying. But it works.
Level scaling was a problem, but since we're all presumably 60, 65, it shouldn't be bad. I was fighting with plus 21 guys before, and that was just like, no, this isn't working. Why does game hate me?
Tholians, how quaint.
Aliens go boom.
Tholians, I've heard of the species before.
I did find another instance of revamped dialogue since Victory is Life. They added Garrick to Temporal Ambassador as one of the contacts.
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
they
'cause he-
replace the previous Cardassian guy?
Yep. So it's
Yeah,
now
the
Garrick
Knar guy.
giving you some lines. But yeah, it's 2 new lines from Garrick. So if you're going for completionism, then hey, that's one of those
I wonder
options.
if he's still asking for
Kanar?
the
Probably.
Knar and. Okay, so they're doing that. I guess I'll go over and take care of the one. Suppose the faster you clear these guys, the faster something better will spawn.
Yep.
Well, actually, the real trick to this is you have one person distract the Tholians while a different person disables the tractor beams. Because the Tholians will automatically despawn as soon as you free the ship.
I remember doing that.
Certain exceptionally creative people manage to find ways to solo it by basically
Getting to the
finding
exact
a
right
place.
place in the
Yeah.
asteroid that would not draw aggro.
Yeah. I did the one that was really a thing. I think they fixed a few points where you could just basically hide. I used to shuttle in this one. It worked.
Pay no attention to the tiny shuttle right here.
Although it was funny, as my favorite application of the shuttle in the game. We were doing it was the first run of Kobayashi Maru. And Kale was doing a little bit of a competition between the different formats where people signed up for times. And it was just a question of who can, the forums, Reddit, or Facebook could get the highest score. So to kind of punk the system, Reddit really went nuts because they did it was their build forum that participated, so they got a real high score. And I knew, we were not going to get that high. So I went in with my shuttle. And I was actually really useful because I had a set of support consoles, like the Protomatter regeneration console from the Lucari Escort, or Lucari Science Vessel. And even still, because of the way I built my shuttle, I was also killing things.
Well, see, one of the interesting things with that one, though, is that if you have a proper build, you can actually do a pretty good job of being a healer, even if you're a shuttle. Also, another thing with this is that if you have multiple people messing with tractor beams, it makes it faster, because the tractor beam things are actually several different interact points, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Okay, well, there's 4 of them, so you can. Have...
Yeah, so you can tandem him. So I'm going for the 2, so I'll have that covered. So yeah, don't guinea pig rush the only one that's up right now. The other 2
I'll wait in the middle.
Yeah, there's another one that just popped up.
I'll come with you.
The one on the left is probably going to pop.
Okay.
I'm headed southwest. I thought someone was coming this way. Well, my west is following me. Okay, then. This character actually runs the old
I'll count that continuity jump as blowing myself up.
Oh, we missed the optional, and I'm stuck in a Borg tractor or web.
Yeah, we just got unlucky with the spawns. It's just a lot of 1s and 2s. No.
I think that's my one complaint about this one is that it is so random.
Yeah.
It is exceptionally random.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like that they should either like maybe have a set order or just scrap that optional in favor of something else. Like
or maybe
do
just
with
make it the number of
ships.
ships. Yeah.
Yeah, because the 10 points worth that's the awkward part. Maybe it makes it a little bit more interesting because sometimes you're a bit more of a rush than others.
Okay, you go in and distract them, Duncan, and I'll get the things.
Okay.
Well, if you get lucky and a falchion spawns one of the first ones, it's like, hey.
I'm distracting them good with my exploding ship.
It seems to be weighted in terms of.
Aw.
Wow, they blew you up fast.
I'm a bit of a glass cannon right now because I don't have a good shield.
Yeah, I got tractor beamed and took all the aggro and.
Plus, I'm in a pilot escort, which is.
You guys need help?
Yeah. Well, actually, no. On this one, we got to split up. So yeah, just make sure 2 people are going to that one. Yeah, we got that. So.
Yeah. I actually made my Aegis, but before they added dilithium to the crafting requirements for building Aegis.
I've got the Solane set right now because it sort of works with science builds. It gives you a lot of part gen and also has some good defensive abilities, which, yeah, I mean it's sort of a good sort of complement to what I've got going on right now.
Darn
stuck in Geo.
Darn Terrans and their beam fire at will.
I think the Terrans spawning on Explode is still a little bit weird. I mean, I don't think anybody remembers why it was a thing anymore.
Yeah, because it was just...
It's a reference to something that happened in TOS.
Because when they die, they spawn rift to another universe.
Yeah. But basically the whole thing is that sometimes when the Tholians explode, the explosion creates a rift to the mirror universe.
Yeah, but nobody these days actually knows that.
Okay, I'm going to go over next to Merwest because there's probably going to be a ship spawn at that asteroid soon. Listen, yeah, that's Merwest. Well, okay, the explosion happened in TOS. You didn't see the Terrans go through the portal until Enterprise. That's true, Merwest.
So yeah, there is that. It's kind of like an obscure
It's a
reference.
tenuous connection.
Yeah, and it's a little reinforced in the Nukara, the higher level missions, but chances are most players haven't done those.
And chances are most players didn't read the quest text.
Well, that too, or there are basically objectives where you have to just interrogate Terrans that are being held by the Tholians in the cave section. But yeah, that one is probably one of the more obscure ground tasks you can possibly do and so.
The most obscure of the obscure.
Good old Nukara. I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah. It's not only Nukara, but Nukara in the interior facilities. You have to just turn around and go into the caves.
Which for a long time that was some of my favorite content to do.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think that, like, they kind of shot that one in the foot. I think by really kind of following with a very traditional MMO structure of really big grinding objectives and picking up miscellaneous resources dropped by certain enemies. So,
oh yeah,
it does stand
Well,
as
see,
pretty.
there's that one where you run around and do 50 things, literally.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a zone-wide objective that presumably is designed to be done while other things are happening.
So it follows from the Deferrer invasion zone, and then it's sort of they started shifting to a little bit more interesting with the new Romulus. But I think it's like they really reached their stride in what they could do with ground combat with the Dyson ground battle zone.
Honestly, I feel like
That's
the Dyson
still-
has yet to be replicated. That was such a great ground zone.
It's and
It's
I
fun.
think with Kobali, I've been going back through that one. I sort of like it has a lot of really interesting spots. Like trying to get from point A to point B can be really interesting from like using terrain in a little bit more of an interesting way. So it feels like there's more going on. But yeah, they it'd be nice if they tried it
more
again.
people were playing it at any given time.
I think the
Yeah.
problem is it's too dense. The enemies are too close together.
Yeah,
They got too much crammed into too small a space, and they just respawn so quickly, which is fine if people are all over it, but
Yeah.
if you're there by
it can
yourself,
be-
it's
it
just
can
like
get
frustrating.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's like an endless swarm of moving targets.
And as far as the environment 2 goes, I mean, it is trench warfare, so it is much more of a sort of a dour setting. Whereas the Dyson Zone was all sorts of crazy good fun with sci-fi. Because,
Oh,
I mean-
also the
Dinosaurs
Dyson
with
Zone
friggin'
has
lasers on their
found
heads.
lore, and the Dyson Zone also has found lore that's actually challenging to get because they're on computer
three.
consoles that are only active at certain points in the
All right, I'm following you, Jordan.
things.
We don't have time to get it though. I bet because we're at
Oh, we
20
already
seconds.
failed the. Oh, that timer. Yeah.
Hey, I will
I
go
might be able
in.
to get one more.
That's
I will
the
go in
first
and distract
one
him. You
solved.
try and get in and free him. Well, maybe not.
I think
Not in 10
I think
seconds.
I think I got one more to list. Come on, almost. Yeah, we got it.
It took me
Last
20
possible
seconds
second.
just to fly across the map.
7 Delisses and 7 Delens. That was terrible.
That's
And that's all that spawned, though.
I know.
yeah.
That's why it's terrible.
That's the thing that people complain about with this one. They're like, but we wanted to do the optional. We freed everything that spawned, except that, that's what spawned.
Yeah. So it's not skill based, and that's what the problem is.
It's like just one comment. Like after all the runs we've done,
There's a skill into clearing spawns as quickly as possible. It's just that that may not be enough to get the optional.
like I'm just sort of like reflecting on how I'm feeling now with the just after running so many TFOs. I kind of just want to keep doing more because it's just fun to have that much variety. It's such a better experience than trying to go into the queue system before.
Yeah.
Not to
Oh,
mention, it's
man.
also kind of fun to just play
Well-
with you guys.
Yeah,
I was going to suggest, we're about at our time limit, but I was just going to suggest we do one more.
All right,
Okay.
Duncan,
Guys
we'll
are-
do
Alright.
one more.
One
But
more.
then we gotta go home.
watch.
I'm a relog as fast as I can.
It
What?
is a school night.
Yeah, watch. It's gonna be the ground version of I think it's the Cure where it's the
It takes
exterior.
forever.
Yeah, that one.
You want one that takes a long time. Have you ever done the ground version of Onslaught?
I've never successfully completed it.
Oh
I
the
stopped
hives aren't
trying
right.
very quickly.
boy.
I tried it on Tribble and didn't complete it there.
Yeah, that's actually the only piece of stow content I haven't completed.
I'll put it to you this way. It's actually a mission where you have a legitimate reason. You can kick elite Borg tactical drones into a pit of death. It's like, goodbye. Because of the fact that there are several places where there are catwalks or some sort of other platforms that are above what is effectively a bottomless pit. Guess what happens to all the things that fall in the bottomless pit? You don't get loot drops from them, but they stop attacking you.
That's a good compromise.
Yeah, I'll take it. All right. One more roll of the dice. What's it going to give us?
Oh, Merwest says he's done Hive Ground several times.
I think I might just start doing it because if it's part of the random TFO system, I can make other people do it.
The other thing with Hive Ground is that it has kill floors, which they do actually have a warning indicator. And if you're playing a turret spamming person, there are actually places where you can place turrets that aren't on any of the kill floors.
We
Ooh.
got reload station.
I know this because I have experience. Oh, goody. This is the Alachi one, where you have to wander around without being able to see the mini map.
Yep, I do like this one because it's sort
This
of
is
like
one where you don't stick together. It doesn't work if you stick together. You basically need to solo everything.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's that
Which
coordination and then the last.
This character's built for that. This character is space magic for days.
Everyone deploy your tardigrades. Everyone goes with a buddy.
I have a better idea.
Tardigrades.
Everyone gets a healing buff.
Don't forget your tribbles.
Oh wait, did you guys have IDIC tribbles?
I don't have one equipped right now. Actually, I'd have to pick that up from Phoenix boxes, I think, on this character. Yeah, so this first one, it's just destroys many of those sensor devices that are deployed. So everyone basically takes up a separate room and then just kind of keeps wandering around and shoots whatever has a progress bar.
Also, yeah.
Yeah, you see
Also,
a progress bar.
some
shoot it.
Malachi come around.
Oh yeah, kill them too. But yeah, so when you see the progress bar, that's the key one where you want to make sure you kill that as quickly as possible.
Also, one thing that happens to me, or that I do when I'm on ground maps like this, that I find to be useful personally, is when you look at your skill tray on the bottom, your weapon icon will light up whenever there are enemies in firing range. So that will tell you if you have in some that you can shoot nearby.
I have damage abilities that go right through shields.
Oh yeah, Alachi hate those because Alachi have very low HP.
Yeah.
Oh, get off me, you stupid skittering saboteurs.
Oh god, Boolean Cannon's working so well on this build. Oh, I could have got that one.
There's the progress meter.
Yeah, that one got away. Yeah, Lachi do not like my side powers. And that one just died.
Oh, come on, stupid spiders. Those exploding spiders are really annoying when you see one when it's 3 feet away from you, and by the time you've seen it, it's already done the lunge attack. Which,
oh yeah,
it's
very thrilling.
It's when they do the lunge attack that determines whether they latch onto you.
It's about the pipe. Yeah, even though it's sort of like one of those ones where it's like a little grindy with this one, it does still like have that variation that I still find this one pretty fun.
Hey, I managed to save Cestus from a skittering saboteur. That's fun.
And you can come in with that where someone's backing away. No! Don't give me hugs! The hug robots aren't... I'm like, oh man, I mean, if they had little cute, adorable voices like, I give you hug! Hug!
Yeah, that last device I just shot, I totally did not see that one. The only way I knew it was there is because my weapon icon lit up.
Oh yeah, that's something to also just sort of pay attention to, because that's a good indicator, but you do, have all the other enemies to shoot too.
I just run around pressing 1.
Yeah.
When there's nothing around.
I call it the spider sense approach to ground combat, because that is kind of like how it works.
Can I get it? I'm gonna get it. Got it.
Oh, come on. Shooting Alachi A, Alachi B, which in this case is one of those stupid skittering saboteur things. Hey, device. Ah!
It's funny when you get stuck, like hit by a saboteur now, because it continues to do the animation while you're going through this cutscene, so you explode.
It's also funny with the new lighting. This is the only place in the station that's actually dark.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and this one everyone takes a separate route and basically works their way through. So on this one, don't follow someone unless you really don't have any other options.
Flashlights are worthless.
Unless you have a Hirogen weapon. Then it's just a bonus.
Really?
Yeah, because those have attached flashlights. So if you really want a flashlight and don't want to put an equipment slot in it, just get one of the Hirogen weapons.
Actually, if you really don't want to use a flashlight, do like me and use kit modules that give your character a glowing aura. Oh, come on. Stupid freaking teleportation turret.
So I think the left side of the station is cleared. Now we got to just focus all on the right. So you go that way. I'm going to go this way.
Got 2 left.
So that one's done, and we're all converging on that last one.
In the hallway.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the most annoying trick Alachi have, is that stupid trick for teleporting you and then holding you in place. Speaking of which, go away, heavy stasis turret.
There we go.
And with that little circuitry effect, we all look like Kaj Burr.
Except we're wearing more than just hot pants.
And we're not all Kurland.
Oh, Kashbur, that guy. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean now.
Yeah, once we get past like a Discovery Foundry challenge, we want to just kind of mess with Cryptic, propose a Kashbur Foundry challenge to explain what happened to him or what his backstory is.
And explain why he, exists, yeah.
Because it's a loose thread.
Device captured. Good job.
Da-da-da. We win again.
Aha! Eat my photons,
that was largely a foregone. This is actually one of those boss fights where it can actually be really, really seriously annoying if you don't use ranged weaponry, because of the fact that he has those stupid rift things that will immobilize you and give you a dot. That it doesn't like fully immobilize you, but it makes you so you have to walk stupidly slowly.
Well, thanks, gentlemen. That was fun.
Yep.
We didn't have any repeats, which is nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's sort of a good also test of the TFO system to see which ones are eligible. So everyone we've done, you can basically just go into yourself, and you should get a populated group for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
one observation I've made is that if you manually queue for a specific TFO, it might be something like 10 or 15 minutes before the random TFO system kicks in to fill it.
Yeah, because it's probably like a first come first serve basis, so it's still going to be a question of when you get picked up. I actually haven't had that much of a problem with it. I
personally suspect that it's related to the old bug of how the queue interface would show numbers that didn't match what were actually queued. It's because it didn't update itself on a minute-by-minute basis. It would update itself like once every 5 or 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, or it could be one of those which queue were you trying to use?
Well, one of them was actually a queue we just did, which was the Kittimer stasis one.
All right, then that shouldn't be a problem, because if it was like Fed Fleet Alert, I don't think that one's included because it's Fed only. So yeah. So anyway,
yeah, but I mean, one of them was Kittimer stasis. I manually queued for that one, and I had to wait something like 15 minutes. And I spent that time flying around the Gamma Quadrant, or not Gamma Quadrant, but Cardassian sector, looking for duty officer assignments.
Rightio. So, yep. So yeah, that was a fun set of runs, and yeah, we'll again keep everyone posted about Foundry downtime. We'll maybe send Kale something this week saying, hey, why not try a triple Foundry if you guys can manage that, just to see what the effect of the costume bug is, if that's a consideration. So. Yeah, just well, we'll see, and hopefully Foundry will be back soon.
Hopefully.
Yep.
But for now, we will say good night.
Good night.
Good night.